It's a little loud. All right. Good morning, Southern High School Dolphins. My name is Austin Fortuno, and I'm a paralegal in the Administration Division, and I'll be your MC for today's AG's Office Changing the DNA School Outreach. Before we begin, I would like to go ahead and take this opportunity to welcome the two very distinguished individuals who's joining us from our office. We have, of course, the Attorney General of Guam, Douglas Molin. Let's give him a round of applause. Our Assistant Chief Prosecutor from our General Crimes Division, Mr. Grant Olin. Let's give him a round of applause as well. So Attorney General Olin and Assistant Chief Prosecutor Olin will be giving some presentations, right, on very relevant topics to our youth. But before we begin, let's get everybody warmed up. Let's do a little icebreaker activity. Can I have everyone please raise their right hand? Check your friend, make sure that they're raising the right one, okay? Not the left one. Raise your right hand up high. All right, higher, get that up there. All right, now raise your left hand up high. Both, right and left. Make sure your friend is raising the right one, okay? All right, it's all up. Now give yourself a round of applause for being here this morning. All right. Great job, guys. All right, so all warmed up. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off, right, to the Attorney General of Guam, Douglas Molin, to give his welcoming remarks. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. Hapa day. This is a presentation by the AG's office. How many freshmen do we have in here? Raise your right hand. And how many sophomores? What about juniors? And seniors? How many seniors? You guys aren't raising all your hands, guys. I don't see people raising their hands. Okay, so we got the full student body in our school here. You gotta listen. If you don't listen, then you're not gonna learn, huh? I noticed that you guys weren't really listening to your principal, which is not a good thing to do, and that's why we got laws, and that's why Southern High School has rules. If you guys want to succeed in life, you need to follow the rules, you need to engage. And that's what the Attorney General's office is here to do, is to help you all succeed in life. Okay? Does anybody know what the Attorney General is? Do you guys know what the top cop is? The top law enforcement official? The one that goes out and puts you in jail or helps you with your child support? That is the Attorney General's office on Guam. That is what you guys, your parents elected, and that is my team here today. We've got 8 different divisions, but for you guys, the most important things that you're going to be seeing is family court, child support, and the criminal courts. So you guys got to listen, because anyone that's above 16 years old, 16 or older, you can get into a lot of trouble if you don't follow the rules, and that's what some of the topics we're going to discuss today. So, having said that, we're a little bit short on time. Let's start our presentation. At the very end, we're going to have a question and answer session. So, you got to participate, you got to ask questions, because better that you see us here versus you see us at court or at DYA or anywhere else. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Attorney General Douglas Molin. We're going to go ahead and start off with our first presentation on the topic of school violence. We have Assistant Chief Prosecutor Grant Olin. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good day, everyone. My name is Grant. I am a criminal prosecutor with the Attorney General's office, and it's great to be here with you today. I understand that all of you volunteered to be here, right? You all chose to be here today. You weren't told to be here. Seriously, though, it is a privilege to be here with all of you. Please do not throw any food at us, no drinks, food. But if you want to give us some drinks and food, we'll gladly take them. All right. So what I want to do is talk to you about school violence. But before I do that, I want to first tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. and I went to college in Washington, D.C., where I got a bachelor's degree in political science. And after I graduated, I was working as an accountant and business office manager for a restaurant company, which I did for a few years, before going back to Illinois to get a master's in history. And I understand all of you here are in history classes, so I'm excited to hear that. So I got my master's in history, and while I was doing that, I interned for a U.S. Senator and worked for the governor of Illinois. And then I worked for a U.S. presidential candidate's campaign. And then I went back to Illinois to work for a state agency. And then I went back to Washington, D.C., where I worked for nonprofit groups for a few years. And I was actually a federal healthcare lobbyist before going to law school. So law school was a late career change for me. I've had a lot of career changes, about 5 altogether. And the message in that is that it's never too late to change or try something new. And in fact, I encourage it. A lot of you here today may know what you want to do after high school. And some of you might not. And that's okay. Like I said, I encourage you to try new things, see what you like, what you don't like. But don't be scared of failure. It's important that you work hard, respect other people, and your dreams will come true. And those are probably my 2 big takeaways today before we dive into this topic. Work hard, treat others with respect, and you're almost certain to succeed in life and to do well. If you don't do one of those 2 things, I assure you, you're going to have a much harder time succeeding in life. So, after graduating from law school in 2018, I then moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where I worked for a federal appeals court for a few years before coming here and working for the Attorney General's office. And I'm also a lawyer for the Guam Army National Guard. Now, never in my life did I ever think or expect to be living and working here in Guam. I didn't even plan to be a lawyer. And never did I expect to be working as a lawyer for the Guam Army National Guard. Okay, so enough about me. Let's talk about school violence. What is school violence? Now, I'm going to call on some people, and also we call that cold calling. So I'm sure that you're all awake and paying attention here. So, okay. Sir, what is school violence? Oh, come on. You can do better than that. Say that again. No. Say it again. That was right.
Fighting in school.
Very good. Fighting in school. Anything else? How about you? What else is school violence? Okay. Don't be timid. Anything else that comes to mind? Yes. Bullying. Fighting and bullying. Let's talk about school violence broadly defined. School violence is physical or verbal threats and harm, bullying, and anything that is destructive behavior that occurs in the school environment, the school setting. And why are we talking to you about this today? We're talking to you about this today because school violence affects not just the victim, it affects the offender, it affects their friends, it affects their families, and it affects society writ large, the entire community. And there are at least 5 different types of school violence here in Guam. You have physical violence, which is fighting between students, hopefully not teachers. But certainly teachers and staff get involved in school fighting. Then you have bullying and harassment, which is picking on someone because they're different than you, they're not like you. Either they have physical differences, or they might have a disability, or based on socioeconomic reasons, meaning maybe they have less money than you, or you just don't like them. And any kind of bullying or harassment is cruel and mean. It's cruel and mean. And it says more about the offender than the victim. Okay, so again, physical violence, bullying, harassment. You also have weapons, although less common in schools here in Guam. Sometimes students bring weapons, whether they're knives or guns to school. Not only is it illegal, it's illegal, of course, but it can lead to injury and fear among the student population that detracts from the learning environment. Because they're all here to learn, to get an education, to learn valuable life and coping skills so you can succeed. Because high school is a small microcosm, it's a fishbowl. It's a small microcosm of what you're going to experience in the world at large. And if you can't get along here, you're going to have a lot of problems getting along in the real world. So, it's important that you all treat each other with respect, work hard while you're here, and realize that all of you have different developments, and we all are matched to school with us. Whether, we all have problems at home, whether it's financial issues, parents going through divorces, health issues. We have to recognize that all of us are different and have our own unique problems that we might not share with everyone else. And that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. That was a little bit of a tangent. But, so, 5 types of school violence. You have physical violence, you have bullying and harassment, you have weapons. You also have sexual harassment, assault. Sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual advances, and sexual assaults is unwelcome sexual contact. And that is certainly illegal. And it's important to know that when we commit school violence, what we do is perpetuate injury, fear, depression, anxiety, trauma that reverberates and has long-lasting impacts on not just the victims, but all of us. And finally, mental health issues, which often underlie a lot of these various types of school violence. People who perhaps are suffering from depression, anxiety, trauma, unresolved family issues that causes your peer students to act out and engage in ways that are unhealthy and commit school violence. So those are so we've now gone over the definition of school violence, we've gone over 5 different types of school violence in Guam. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the consequences of school violence. On the victims, we've already talked some about that, but when we commit school violence, it causes perhaps injuries, long-term health effects. It also can lead to psychological issues such as depression, anxiety, and trauma. What about for the offenders? What are some consequences of school violence committed by offenders? Jail? Anything else?
10-day suspension.
What are some other consequences of school violence for offenders? What are some consequences of school violence committed by offenders? Suspension, right. So offenders who commit school violence risk school suspension, expulsion, and also perhaps criminal, well, jail, frankly. And working in the Attorney General's office, my job is to put people in jail who commit criminal offenses. And I certainly don't want to see any of your names come across my desk. My hope for all of you is that you can, that you're successful, that you learn, that you develop those skills that you need to be successful in lives, and not engage in school violence. Because that will hold you back. You don't want a felony conviction, that's for sure. Felony conviction follows you around for life. It makes it harder to get jobs. It makes it harder for you to achieve the dreams that you want to achieve. And so I just hope that going forward that you're all mindful of that. And just some advice, some personal advice that I have for all of you. If you're ever picked on, if you ever witness school violence, stand up for yourself, speak out, and stand up for your friends too. Speak out, tell someone, tell school authority, but don't act out physically, because it can get you in trouble. And so it's so important that you be there for your fellow students, and that we work together. It's a collaboration. Only by working together, by speaking out, and by reporting incidents of violence to school authorities, can we prevent violence, stop violence, and do what we're all supposed to be doing here, which is learning, getting an education, and succeeding. So, and one last point. I just have a couple of questions for all of you. We're going to give away prizes. You don't ask the questions? Okay. We're going to ask you some questions so you're paying attention, and whoever gets the right answers will get some prizes. Right.
Let's give it a round of applause for Attorney So yeah, real quick, right? Attorney Olin talked about school violence and wanted to see if everyone's paying attention. Can anyone spot Eric Eagle? Right, over here is only 2 gift bags. So whoever answers the 2 questions I'm asking gets a gift bag from courtesy of Eric the Eagle. So first question, can anyone, raise your hand, I'll call on you. Can anyone name one way to stop school violence? One way, one thing you can do. All right, go over there. All right, let's see your paying attention. Say your name and give your answer. What's one way to stop school violence?
My name is Greg, and you call me Tim. One way to stop school violence is to speak out and just don't have to bother them.
Speak out, report it to the adult, very important. All right, you got feedback. Congratulations. All right, you paying attention? Second question. All right, can anyone tell me what are the consequences for those who commit school violence? All right, let's go to the front. Say your name and tell me what's one consequence if you commit school violence. Right, school suspensions, one big consequences. Great job, we're gonna get that from Eric the Eagle. All right, again, very important you take the time to pay attention. The Attorney General is gonna make his presentation and he's ask some questions as well. Thank you.
Okay, guys, the next part is going to be cyberbullying and minors being charged as adults. How many of you are 16 years old or older? Raise up all your hands. How many of you are 16 years old or older? Come on, guys. Some of you look older than that. 16 years old. What about over there? You guys are all under 16? Okay, you can put your hands down. Does anybody know? And tell me, is this wrong or right? You're at a movie theater and you scream out fire right in the middle of the movie. What do you think is going to happen if you scream out fire in the middle of a movie theater? You're going to stampede out there, right? People are going to start getting up and running through the door, right? Is that good or bad? That's what we call the difference between free speech, where you get to say what you want to say, and causing a riot. It's bad to cause a riot. The First Amendment does not protect your right to hurt other people. That's what cyberbullying is.
I think I saw on this table, people are looking at their cell phones. How many of you have a cell phone here today? Cyberbullying deals with using your technology, your cell phones, your iPads, those devices in order to hurt other people. Under Guam law, cyberbullying targets actions that are deliberate, repeated, and intended. Is it right to call your friends names on the social media so everybody else sees it? Is that right or wrong? That's wrong. But what about your free speech right? Don't you have a right to say the person right next to you is a bully or something else? You do have a free speech right to say things, so don't get us wrong. But you don't have a free speech right to repeatedly, deliberately, and intentionally, consistently be using your cell phone, your media, social media to hurt other people. That's what cyberbullying is about. It's the same thing that goes along with the idea that you cannot be yelling out fire in a crowded theater or where there's a bunch of people, where you know that when you do that, you're going to cause a riot, people running for the door, that sort of thing. Okay? So, does anybody have any question on that particular concept? Using your social media, your electronic devices to bully other people. It is wrong. But does anyone want to argue the other point that you have a free speech right?
No.
Do you think you have a free speech right? What is the extent of your free speech?
You can say whatever you want as long as
What is your name? Daniel. Daniel is basically correct. You have the right to say what you want to say, but when you get to that point where you're targeting somebody and you're using social media repeatedly to go after that person, that's when it becomes wrong. So talk to me about calling in to the school or calling into the police station and saying there's a bomb at Southern High School.
another part of it.
Yes.
Is that acceptable?
No.
Obviously, it's not acceptable. What's going to happen when I catch you? The Attorney General, the Guam Police Department, your principals over here. What's going to happen when we catch you? You're going to be yanked out of Southern High School, brought before a judge, and that judge is going to put restrictions on your ability to walk around freely. It's the same idea that you can't be yelling fire in a crowded theater. It's called terroristic conduct. If you're 16 years old, and if it's above a second-degree felony and a first-degree felony, you're going to be at the Department of Corrections with everybody else at DOC. Do you know what DOC stands for? Do you guys know where it's located? It's in Manila. Do you guys know where DYA is located? It's also in Manila. And then if you've been to DYA, don't raise your hands. So, okay guys, for those of you who are 16 years old and older, do you realize that you can be charged as an adult?
Yes.
That's good that you're aware of it. Do you realize that it's automatically charged as an adult? What about those other crimes, like if you went up to somebody and shoved them and pushed them on the ground? A form of bullying but touching. Can you be charged as an adult if you're 16 years old? You can if the Attorney General's office asks the judge to charge you as an adult, because that's normally a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor. Does anybody know what a misdemeanor is? A misdemeanor is you get charged with a crime and you can go to jail for up to 1 year. A felony is anything above a year. If you're charged, they can put you in jail for over a year. Okay? So felonies and misdemeanors, that's how we look at life at the AG's office for the crimes. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. Does anybody know what meth is?
Yes.
What is meth? Mark, what is meth? Okay, it's a drug, that's true, but it's an illegal drug, okay? Meth is an illegal drug that Guam is having a big problem about, okay? We all know marijuana, that is illegal, supposed to be illegal. The government is trying to figure out where they want marijuana to be used or not, but I'll let you all know right now, it's illegal for any of you in this room that are students. You cannot be smoking meth, you cannot be using meth, or using marijuana. Do you guys know the effects of what meth does to you?
No teeth. Don't eat.
What is your name? Jesse. Okay, Jesse, do you know what meth does to you? So Jesse says he's never tried meth. That's a good thing to say. So, guys, when you take a look at those photos up there, meth will kill you. There's no question about it, that meth will kill you. It's just a matter of when and how soon as you take the meth. Meth changes your brain. You think that you can control meth? That's the first error that you're making. You cannot control your addiction to meth. Is meth manufactured or is it grown?
Manufactured. Manufactured. You gotta make that with baking soda. Don't worry about it.
Maury just gave the correct answer. Meth is manufactured. Marijuana is grown. The Germans first started making meth in World War II for the Nazis at the Battle of the Bulge in order to make a super soldier so that when they got shot, they didn't feel the bullet and they kept on fighting. They realized after taking the meth that it was highly addictive to the brain and that it started to rewire their brains, that they were like monkeys. They wanted it, they needed it, they would not stop wanting it. And they would do anything in order to continue what we call addiction. Okay? That is what it's going to do to you if anybody gives you meth and you don't reject it, you don't say no. Okay? For all the girls in here, you guys like your teeth? Does that make you feel pretty? Look at the photos up there. The first thing that you can tell on a meth addict, and you can ask your dentist this, is your teeth start falling out. Do you guys get a second pair of teeth? Not at your ages. Those teeth you have in your mouth right now will be the last teeth that you ever have. Do you think the implant's going to stay in when you're taking meth?
Maybe.
The dentists say no. So get ready to get dopey if you take meth. That's the first step on the grade. You will die from meth. How many murders have we had this year?
365.
Who said that? What is your name?
Not even close.
What's your name?
John.
Your name is John?
So John, how many people have died this year?
I don't know, sir.
7 people have died this year. 7 of our fellow Guamanians have died this year in the last 11 months. Do you know what drug has been associated with each one of them? Exactly, meth. Do you guys remember Valentine's Day? How many of you guys went out with your girlfriend on Valentine's Day? Come on, guys, are you guys all in business? How many of you went out with your girlfriends or your boyfriends on Valentine's Day? We got 2 winners over there. So, did you know on Valentine's Day that evening, when everybody was enjoying themselves, that a woman who was a law-abiding person was shot in Tumuli? Do you realize what they asked the person that killed that woman? Why did you do that? The person said they needed to rob her in order to get money to buy meth. That is unacceptable as right, especially if you were the children of that innocent woman. Do you guys know what was the first murder on Guam for this year? It was a Korean tourist. Do you guys remember that in 2-1? Do you know what happened to the 2 guys that shot that Korean tourist?
They killed themselves.
Who? What?
Didn't they kill themselves? What's your name?
Don is correct. The guy that shot the Korean tourist put a gun under his head and shot himself when the Guam Police Department had gotten enough information to arrest him. Do you think he was a bad person?
No.
I disagree.
It was the meth. It was misunderstood.
No person that shoots themselves for the guilt of what he did, I would respectfully submit to you, was a bad person. I think that drug changed his mind. It transformed his brain so that he did not want to shoot that Korean tourist, but he couldn't help himself. And when faced with the reality that he killed somebody, when he was facing justice, he shot himself. He didn't have to shoot himself. He could have shot at the police officer that was at his car trying to arrest him. But he chose to shoot himself. This is what meth does to you. It transforms your brain. It stops your ability to think about consequences. And I need all of you to remember that the drug dealers are losing their customers. Do you realize that? At the AG's office, the judges, the juries, they're throwing all the meth addicts in jail. That's what we do all day, is the police arrest, and we take all these people and throw them in jail. What happens to the drug dealers?
All that money.
What's your name?
My name's Brendan Chaco.
Brentley Chaco says no more money. That's exactly correct. So tell me, when the meth addicts are shooting themselves, committing suicide, dying at the doctor's office because their hearts are failing, and where are the drug dealers going to get their money?
The new people. They'll find new
Where are the drug dealers going to start selling more drugs so that they can get their profit for the meth?
to the younger generation.
To the kids.
Corey's correct. They're looking at each one of you in this room to create new customers. Okay? Each one of you in this room is going to be making money throughout your lives. You're going to get money from your parents. And I'm not talking about when you hit 18. I'm talking about right now. And how do they do that? They're first going to give it to you for free. They are going to be looking at each and every one of you as a potential customer to replace the ones that are either at the Department of Corrections in jail, or are dead, or can't afford it because they can't work anymore because their brain is so fried. That's what meth does. It fries your brain. So you can't go to work on time,
you're up all night, and nobody wants to hire you. So I ask each and every one of you to be very careful and to report it to the principal, the counselors, your teachers. If you see meth, which is a white substance, powder or crystalline, and somebody is trying to give it to you, they're not going to sell it to you at first. They're going to give it to you. Because once you take it and you become addicted, you're going to beg, borrow, steal from your parents, your brothers, your sisters. You're going to do anything that you need to do to get money in order to buy meth. That is what we're seeing. That is what is going on out there. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you need to stop the cycle. And you stop the cycle by not taking or buying meth. Once you do that, they're going to go out of business. The price is going to go up higher, and then nobody's going to be able to afford it. But be smart, don't start. That's the best advice I can give you right now. Once you start meth, there's a very low chance you're ever going to turn your lives around and stop it. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for your being here for your course voluntary participation, and we have 2 more days to go.
Alright, let's give a round of applause to the Attorney General. Alright, we will check everyone listening and ask 2 questions for the presentation we just had. First one, raise your hand. What do you do if you witness cyberbullying? What do you do? Are you okay? Alright. Say your name and give your answer. What do you do if you witness cyberbullying?
My name is Dylan, and tell the teacher.
Very important. Tell the teacher, report it, right? Great job. Right, Eric Eagle. Right, give them a gift bag. Alright. Last question. Make sure you're paying attention. Can a minor selling drugs like meth be charged as an adult? Yes or no? That's my eyes. I'm gonna pick. Alright. You got this, alright? Question. Can a minor selling drugs like meth be charged as an adult? State your name and your answer. Is it yes or no?
John, yes.
Yes, that's correct. Minors selling drugs can be charged as an adult. Alright, great job. You get a gift bag. Alright, great job, Southern High School Dolphins. I'm going to go ahead and spend this last few minutes fielding any questions you guys may have. We have the Attorney General Juan Douglas Woodin and Assistant Chief Prosecutor Grant Bowen. Any questions you guys might have about the Attorney General's office? Go ahead and raise your hand. Anybody have any questions? Anything you want to ask?
Come on, guys, ask questions. This is the only time. You guys want to ask questions, I guarantee you. Because I think it's $300 an hour now to get a lawyer and to ask them questions. You guys don't have any questions? Are you serious? St. John's, they couldn't stop asking questions. You guys have to uphold your school pride to ask questions. So unless anybody has any questions, again, thank you guys for listening to us today. We're doing this in order to help you succeed, okay? You guys want to have good families. Yeah.
Anyone have a question? Anyone else? Last chance.
I'm just going to put a name with the public service for everyone here. We need more good police officers, firemen, EMTs, leaders, government attorneys. I want to encourage all of you to think of public service for future careers, and also military. Military is a great way to serve your country, learn important life skills, and and we get great benefits as well. So unless anyone else has questions, we're going to conclude our remarks. Thank you, everyone.
Also, we have up front, there's some giveaways up there, so if you guys wanted to get something, some stickers or something like that, pencils, whatever, please go up front. Thank you.